Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Cheryl and I'm here to talk about the first project in Unit 1. It's the Speed Lab. So I have it here pulled up on my screen. You can read through the background. Let's see. Then we read through the hypothesis. You have to create a hypothesis. Remember that there's a lesson or there's something to review on creating that hypothesis. But remember if then format, and I'll show you just a little bit about that later. You need to come up with some independent variables, and it goes through what an independent and dependent variable are. It explains them a little bit, okay? And if you don't remember, just read through this, do some go back into the course, whatever. There is a project objective, and it gives you the question. You need to remember this question because it's going to be in part of your course, or in your form that you fill out. But then as I scroll down, there's the materials that you're going to need. And so with the materials, you need 3 balls of different size and weight, for example, a marble, a golf ball, tennis ball, or 3 toy cars of different size and weight, a ramp that's at least 2 meters long, a stopwatch, a ruler, a pencil, or a marker. Alright, so I'm at home and I've gathered the 3 materials or 3 different balls of different sizes. So I have them list right here, and they're different weights. This one's got something in the middle of it to give it kind of a wobbly weight, and then this is like a little squishy ball, but they're all different sizes. Now if you don't have actual 3 balls that are different sizes, you could use an orange or any other type of fruit that is round, okay? Or like it said, toy cars. And so I rated my son's bedroom and I took his El Toro Loco and then some of his other Matchbox cars. This one's kind of a medium height and weight, and then this guy I picked a light one so that it would travel at a different speed because it has a different weight. Okay. Remember, it also said that you needed a ruler, so I have a ruler here. It does have inches and centimeters, and remember that a ruler is 12 inches long, which is 1 foot. And to create 1 meter, it's going to be 3 of these, okay? Now, I also, because I don't have a traditional stopwatch, I'm going to be using my phone. And so I have a stopwatch feature on my phone. It also says to have a 2 meter long ramp. And so here, I got a piece of wood that actually was 2 meters long. And so I've propped it up in my garage. You can see that I've put it up on my little stool here. It's said to have a ruler and a pencil. Well, I took my ruler and I measured it out. So I used painter's tape and marked the beginning line. And then later on in this lab, you'll see that it wants you to section off your board. So I just already went ahead and did that. And so what I did, I measured out all the way down, and I put the final line, and then I went and I did halfway between. So I did 6 measurements of ruler because that's going to give me my 2 meters. And so 3 rulers down, I did the middle, and then halfway in between 1.5 rulers and 1.5 rulers. So you can see this is my beginning, and then that's 1/4 of the way through, halfway through, 3/4 of the way through, and then all of the way through. You could also, if you don't have a piece of wood, you could go to the park, your local park, and I've come to mine so I can show you. You could use a slide. This one right here, I didn't measure it all the way, but it doesn't quite look like it's 2 meters long, so you might want to try to find one that's a little bit longer. Make sure it's straight, but you could also put some tape on it to measure out. Just make sure that there's no kids around playing when you're doing this because you don't want them to mess up your project. Alright, now that I've gathered all my materials and I'm ready to go, it goes over safety, okay? There's just general safety to be careful with, splinters, whatever. Make sure that you set something at the end of your ramp to catch the balls that are going to be rolling. Hate for the ball to roll out in the street and maybe a little brother or sister being around and then chase after it. So just be careful, okay? There is a pre-lab with this. All right, as you can see, and over here off to the right, it says download the lab handout. here's the lab handout, and when you click on this, it's going to open up a new document. Okay, there's your lab handout, and you can see it says pre-lab questions, write a hypothesis, and I can write inside here. Now the problem is, if I write in here and I start to do all my work and I think, okay, yeah, this is great and I'm done, I'm going to come back to this, try to open it up, and it's not going to be saved. What you have to do is, if you go to the top, okay, you see this little down arrow right here, it says download. You need to download it. Okay, I just recommend going straight to your desktop. Keep the name so you know what it is, and I'm going to hit save. Okay, and then I'll show you here. As you can see, there it is, saved onto my screen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to open up my internet again, go back to that handout, and I'm going to X out of it. Okay, I don't want that on there for me because I don't want to mess up. Then I'm going to come back over and I'm going to open up this new document that I have just downloaded. Okay, now I can actually type answers. Okay, and I'll be able to save it when I need to. Okay, so super important that you do that. Now, create your hypothesis. Remember I said in the if-then format, if I roll 3 different size balls down a ramp, then I expect the smallest one to go the fastest. Whatever I'm going to say in my hypothesis. There are some questions, and then the data. There's a data table. So type of toy. I'm going to put small ball. Okay, and then I'm going to type in medium ball. So on and so forth. And then it does tell me that in the instructions I'm going to time it in seconds. That's what the S stands for. So I'm going to time it in seconds. I'm going to put the time in there, and then it tells me in the instructions to average the 3 trials. All right, I've come back to the actual lab. So that was all the pre-lab stuff I just talked about. Now the setup. That's actually going to tell you how to do set things up. So it says make sure the ramp is stable, doesn't wobble, start the toy at the same place each time, figure out your stopwatch, so on and so forth. Then your procedure. Okay, it says roll down the ball, the toy, the ball, or the car, whichever you choose, down the ramp, record the time. Repeat that step 2 more times with the same toy. So you're going to have 3 times, and then average it out. And then do the other 2 toys. And then I've already divided my ramp into quarters. I showed you that on the ramp. And then pick one of the toys. Then you're going to measure how far it goes in 1/4 of the time, and then try again and do half of the way, and so on and so forth, all the way until you're done. Okay? You're going to record that information in that data table. Okay, I pulled up that document again. You're going to record it in the data table, all right, for one object. So here was all of the different sizes, my 3 trials and the average. Now I picked one of the items, and this is 1/4 way, halfway, 3/4 of the way in the entire ramp. Well, let me just tell you, you don't have to roll it again, the entire ramp, because didn't you just do it for up here? So you could actually take your 3 trials from whichever one you chose. Maybe I chose the small ball. I could just take all 3 times here and its average and place them in this last column just to save some time. All right, so as I finish writing down my data, then I can scroll down, and then there's just a little bit more. Here's all the stuff that I'm going to be be writing. So statement of the problem, what question or questions are you trying to answer? I'm going to type that in. Remember, you can find that back in the course. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm back at the course, I'm back at the project, and I can find my question in that project objective. Remember, which of 3 different size balls or toy cars will roll down a ramp with the fastest average speed? Now, if you don't have any sort of ball or toy car, but you have something else that can kind of roll down that's the same, okay, fruit or whatnot, you can change it to that. Feel free to adjust this as you need, okay? But there's your question. All right, now I'm back to the fillable form. It says to fill out the materials, your procedure, okay, and then your results. You can fill in this table, okay, and then there's some questions. It says it's important to graph your results, okay, so you need to create a graph, and if you can't create the graph on a computer, okay, you don't have a program to do that, no big deal, because it says or complete the graph by hand. All right, you're going to submit all of this stuff later in this project. Then there's conclusions, there's a box to type in, okay, some questions at the end, okay. So that is your project. Hopefully I've kind of gone through what you need to do. There is a rubric at the bottom of it, okay? You can click on that and open it up. It just kind of gives a generic what you need to do to get a good grade, okay? Well, hopefully that helps, and good luck, guys. If you have any questions, remember, message me. Bye.